Welcome back to my channel, Anything Automotive, and as promised on a previous video, today I want to do a video on my Lotus Emira, but about the things that I don't like. So this is going to be a tough video because I like a lot of things about it, but there's a few niggles that I don't like. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the boot. And it's not about what you think I'm going to talk about. It's not about the boot space. It's about something else. So in the boot, the space is what it is. I said I'm going to do another video on that. If I haven't already released that video before this one, I'm going to do a video to show you how much you can fit into the boot. So with regards to the boot, there's two issues with this boot lid. So the first one being, when it's been raining and the rain is sitting on here, this here is open for a vent. And when you open the boot like this, the boot tends to fill up with water all over your engine here. It doesn't go into here, into the boot space here. It fills in here, but it makes this all look horrible, and it's not very nice. So that's one problem. The second problem is you shut the boot and you think it's shut. Yeah, it's not. You can't now open that boot with the key or the button inside the car because the boot isn't firmly shut. When you shut these boots, you need to give them a really good push in the middle, and now that boot is totally engaged. Now the boot is engaged, it allows you to open it with the key or with the button inside the car. So what else is a niggle for me on this car? God, I'm really struggling to find them, but I have got a couple. So with the gears, well, this is a niggle actually. Why would you put this over here where you have to hold it like this to start the car? Really strange. Hey ho, but it's a nice gimmick, but a bit of a weird thing to do. Another issue with this car is, so currently we're sitting in park. So now I'm going to pull the gears once. We're now sitting in neutral. You'd expect that to be into drive. It's not in drive. I'm now going to put it again, and now you can see we're in drive. Another niggle is, let's put this car back into neutral. So if you're in a hurry and you want to turn around quickly in the road, it's a real issue because basically the gearbox has a delay of 1 second, 2 seconds. So I've now pulled that into first, and actually it engages okay. But if I put this car in park, I've now pulled it in first. See the delay? So there's a couple of second delay there. So if you want to turn around quickly in the road, it doesn't engage very quickly. Another issue as well with the gearbox is when you're in sports or track mode, it enables you a bigger rev range, which you would expect from the car. But the only thing is it gets itself tangled in a real knot, and it revs and revs and revs when you let off the throttle, and it just can't sort itself out to get itself back in the right gear. Once it's sorted the gear out, it's fine, and it gets itself sorted out, and the gear range starts to work okay again. So another niggle, the iDrive. I call it the iDrive system, but it isn't that. It's the Lotus control system, whatever you want to call it. Looks very basic, doesn't it? Very basic. I mean, I'm used to driving a BMW every day, but this system is slow and basic. The sat nav, you can't rely on the sat nav. You've got to rely on the Android or Apple CarPlay. So yeah, it's very, I would say, a very basic system. The stereo or radio picks up DAB, but unfortunately the aerial is in the windscreen, so the aerial isn't that great. So when you're listening to DAB, it loses signal regularly. Again, it's probably better to stream off of your phone. Here's the main screen of menus and things you've got in there. Again, let's just go to performance. gives you a nice screen. That's probably one of the best screens to have on in the car when you're driving. Again, the other functions in here are basic. It is quite basic functions if you go into the settings. You know, look, I discussed this in my previous video. I do not drive a Lotus to worry too much about the technology, because it's all about the drivability, and the car definitely has the drivability not to worry about the technology. But as I said, I just want to show you a few niggles that I have that might not impact anybody else, but there are a few niggles that I have. With regards to when you want to put your car into the different modes, there you go, you pull it in, it brings the screen up, but then you have to do it again to move it, and then, you know, so it's just the lag. You can do this by your finger as well. Yeah, so another little problem, the system itself does lag, and it does sometimes lock itself up, sometimes resets itself, sometimes doesn't connect to Apple CarPlay. But let's be fair on that to Lotus. Apple CarPlay does that in a lot of vehicles. So are there any other things that I'm not entirely happy with the car? There's one more thing I don't like, but we've got to get out of the car for that. I don't 100% like these door handles. They're really fiddly to get in. When you get used to them, they're fine. They're really fiddly, you know, to get in and out. But we know why they're done. They're done for aerodynamics. Anyway, as I said, this was just a quick video to tell you a few niggles I had after 4 to 6 weeks. But I want to be totally clear. These niggles do not take away how great this car actually is. I just wanted to share the niggles with my viewers, my followers and my subscribers to show you what my niggles are. Some of these things aren't going to worry anyone else, because all that anyone are going to worry about is the drivability of the car, which is what you should be worried about when driving the Lotus, because it's all about the drivability, not about the technology, probably not about the things I've identified. But anyway, as always, thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. Please subscribe. Exciting things coming next year. Monaco trip, Munich Motor Museum, where you stay in the hotel there and you put your car in the room. I look forward to taking you all these journeys with me in 2025. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. See you again soon.